we sound the bell 3 times. Once for those who came before us and made a place for us. Once for those who are here now. And once for those who will come after and help build on the dream.
Good morning. Welcome to Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. This is a place where many paths meet, where we honor the rich tapestry of spiritual traditions, and where all are welcome to responsibly explore their own connection to the sacred. I am Reverend Leslie Runnels, and I use she, her pronouns, joined today with Maria Lundgren as worship associate. We have on piano, as usual, Megan Smith, and Maria Lundgren is also going to be song leading for us today. She is also the choir director. In case you're interested in choir, please talk to Maria. And then we have Barb and Brittany. That's not Dan. It's a very hairy Dan, if it is, making magic in our AV today. If you are visiting us for the first or second time today, would you raise your hand that we may welcome you? Any first or second time visitors back there? Great. And one over here as well. We'll bring the microphone around. If you don't want to say who you are, your name, you don't have to. Just pass it on by. But if you'd like to introduce yourselves, we'd love to hear your names.
My name is Sharon Zimnicki, and my wife, Nikki Zimnicki. We're from Moorhead.
Sharon and Nikki, welcome. And then Maria's going to zoom around and catch.
Where was the other one?
Chris right there.
Hi, my name is Chris Erickson, and I live in Beaufort.
Welcome, Chris. Welcome. And we'll see who's joining us on Zoom if we didn't miss anybody.
We have Jerry, Joan Burton, Karen Baggett, and Kay and Daryl Lynch.
Nice. Let's wave to our friends on Zoom. Glad you're there. All right, and we have a few announcements today. This Saturday at 12:30 is a Schools Out for Summer party, okay? So we're going to have young people here. Sarah's going to have some play, pizza, ice cream, games, and fun. Fun spelled with 2 U's, right? And this is for everybody. It's not just for kids because, teachers got out of school too, and parents are getting ready for what the summer means. And so are grandparents. Isn't that right, Maria? All right, the next announcement is Pride Cometh, right? Next month, all of June is all about Pride. Next Sunday is going to be a big Pride explosion. We're going to have a dance party, a parade. We're going to have glitter blessings and whatever else Jason and I can figure out to do to play. So we invite you to that. You'll notice in the Wave and in the Sunday morning reel, there's a ton of stuff happening in Moorhead City and the surrounding area related to Pride. So we've got, I think June 13th has a lot of things happening for Pride. We'll have some stuff going on. So it's an all month long play. June also includes Juneteenth, so we'll be honoring Juneteenth. We will be honoring Father's Day, and we will be honoring the solstice, because in Unitarian Universalism, we honor all the things. This is an announcement for June 14th, so that's 2 Sundays away. After worship service will be the annual meeting. So this church, Unitarian Coastal Fellowship, has one annual meeting a year, and it's in June 14th. And you should have gotten a packet in the email yesterday if you're a member. If you don't get it, check your spam. If you're still having trouble, check in with Lauren. Can you wave your hand? Right, Lauren Donahue will check in. We've got paper ballots if anybody needs it. And that email information is posted on the bulletin board in the social hall. Okay. And last thing is Sarah Grenier, who is our religious educator for the children here, is going to be doing the yard sale on June 27th. So we're going to do it out here in the parking lot. Are people driving their cars up and selling out of the back, right? And we also have a very full office in the Sally B. White building that's full of things for the sale. So we're going to need some people to come help us bring all of that out and put it out somewhere for people to buy. So if you can come by at 8 o'clock, June 27th, to help get all that set up and stay and play, because it's a lot of fun. Okay, that is enough of announcements. Now we center ourselves here in sacred space and let music deepen the way.
We gather as a community of spiritual seekers, always ready to awaken each other's curiosity in this beautiful, challenging, complex world. May we enter our worship today with open minds, warm hearts, and spirits entranced with possibility of healing, of hope, of transformation, of justice. And now let us speak these words as one. Come, let us worship together. And Emily, where are you? Emily, there you are. May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage as we seek what is good within and around us. We also light our peace candle to remind us ourselves that peace is a process that requires work, that peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing a song of opening. We Laugh, We Cry, number 354. We cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's this life. We seek to put an end to all wearisome human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
Our commitment to building beloved community means that we are called to be glad with those who rejoice and to weep with those who mourn. We set aside this time in our gathering to share with one another the joys and sorrows that are now shaping our lives. Should you wish to share a personal joy or sorrow about a person or persons in your life, there is a piece of paper here to fill out in the corner, and you can place it in the basket. I will be reading that aloud as part of the ritual. This is a sacred ritual that we do in meditative silence, being present to ourselves and to each other, listening to what the silence has to say. Please come forward now along the two aisles here, an aisle around the edge. Come and select a stone, place what you need to place into it, and place it into the water. We invite you to the ritual now. community concerns I lift up, we will place a stone for the hearts and minds of the people at the Delaney Hall Detention Center in New Jersey, as well as immigrants everywhere. We denounce the cruelties being perpetuated by federal agents, private prison corporations, and the like. We echo the demands of those inside with our prayers and our commitments. Free the sick and the injured, the young and the old, free them all. We also want to lift up a joy that Bishop Sarah Fisher has been installed as the first Episcopal openly out lesbian bishop. And that is, She is in one of the Carolinas. I'm not sure which one. Which one? New Bern. Oh, right up the road. That's fantastic. May her ministry be powerful and liberated. Amen. Holly says that dogs should not live chained in the driveway or be underfed. Amen. Soleil would like you to keep your thoughts on her little cousin in Haiti, who she calls Potato. We hope Potato is safe. Emmy's neighbor's house burned down, and she asked that you hold the family in prayer. And we know how devastating anything happening to a house can be. I've already reached out to Emmy to let their family know if they need something to reach out to me. Next week, my wife Janine will be 96. This must be, And she is doing better without her 7 medications. Imagine that, John says. And Gracie and Stormy are engaged. Congratulations. Summer, is Summer here? And the nursery, okay. Summer graduated kindergarten, and Alan crossed over to Webelos in Scouts. Congratulations to both of you. Please know, each of you are exactly as you are meant to be. That's an anonymous comment. A big thank you to everyone who helped move the library last week. Your support is greatly appreciated, and everybody should go take a look at it. It looks really beautiful. It's the library and choir room. It looks really nice. Y'all did a great job. That's it. Okay. This community witnesses your joys and your concerns, even the ones not spoken aloud, and those that are just slowly forming in your heart. May you know love. May you know peace. And may you be safe. Now we would like to invite Emily Simon to the chancel for our bridging ceremony. And Sarah Grenier, please come as well.
Okay, good morning. We have a special ceremony today. So today we celebrate a sacred threshold. Bridging is one of the most meaningful moments in the life of a Unitarian Universalist community. It is a recognition that childhood and youth are not simply left behind, but carried forward as part of who we become. We gather to honor Emily Simons as she crosses this symbolic bridge from youth into young adulthood, carrying with her the love, values, questions, and blessings of this congregation. No one crosses into adulthood alone. We are shaped by the people who nurture us, challenge us, encourage us, and believe in us. Today, we pause to say we have witnessed your becoming, and we are grateful for the journey you have shared with us.
Emily, today we offer you a white rose. In this congregation, when we welcome a baby into the community, we often give a white rose with the thorns carefully removed. It is a symbol of our promise to protect the child as best as we can, to soften the sharp edges of the world, to surround them with safety, tenderness, and care. But today, your rose still bears its thorns, though it was hard to find a rose that still has thorns. Your rose still bears its thorns, not because you are any less loved, but because adulthood asks something different of all of us. We know we can no longer shield you from every sorrow, disappointment, or wound that life might bring. The world will sometimes be difficult. Hearts will break, mistakes will be made, there will be losses we cannot prevent for you. And yet the rose remains beautiful. The thorns do not diminish its worth. They are part of its truth. So may this rose remind you that a meaningful life is not one free from pain, but one lived with courage, resilience, tenderness, and authenticity. And may you always remember that even when we cannot protect you in the ways we once did, you still carry the love and support of this community with you wherever you go. May you never fear the thorns so much that you refuse to bloom. May you live courageously and tenderly. May you stay open to wonder. May you seek justice and embody compassion. And may you know that even when your path leads far from this place, though we hope it isn't too far, you remain part of this beloved community. Now I invite the congregation to join in a blessing for Emily. Let's read together. Emily, we bless your journey. We celebrate the person you are and the person you are still becoming. May you be guided by love, grounded in compassion, and strengthened by community. When the road is difficult, may you remember you are not alone. Wherever life leads you, you carry our hopes, our blessings, and our enduring love. Go forth with courage and joy.
If you want to grab the pack. All right, Emily, we have 3 gifts for you. One is a special chalice made by Jackie Burns. If you want to. It's really, really gorgeous. Yes, so it's a flower chalice. And then next we have a book, Becoming, which is UU tradition and given to graduating seniors for the next part of their lives. And then one more, there is a chalice pin on your bag. It's really small, so don't lose it. All right, so we now ask that those of you in the aisles here to form your arms in an arch that Emily will walk through. That is going to be her bridge today. So if you want to stand up if you are willing or able, or just, everyone can kind of put their arms that way as if you're bridging her from the sides as well. All right, and now with gratitude for all that has been and hope for all that is yet to be, we celebrate this crossing. We send you with this blessing. May the bridge beneath your feet be strong, and may the path ahead open with possibility, and may you always find your way back to communities with love, Emily. Thank you. Congratulations.
Emily is going to go to Carteret Community College, where she is going to, with the Kraken. She's going to help release all the Kraken, where she is maybe going to major in education, which would be really cool, or interior design, which would also be really cool. And because she's going to be still in the neighborhood, it is my understanding that you're still going to work with us on Sundays in the nursery and help with the children. So, yay! We now offer you a moment of music and meditation. Feel free to close your eyes or just enjoy the video.
beginning, my love has no end. No front, no back, my love won't bend. I'm in the middle, lost in a spin, loving you. And you don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know how glad I am. My love has no time, my love has no time. My love won't rise, my love won't drop. I'm in the middle, and I can't stop loving you. And you don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know how glad I am. I wish I were a poet so that I could express what I got to say. I wish I were an artist so that I could paint a picture how I feel today. Either side that makes me love brighter than mine. I'm in the middle, and I can't hide loving you. And you don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know how glad I am. And you don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know how glad I
There are many reasons to worry these days. The world moves quickly. News arrives faster than our spirits can even absorb it. We worry about our children, our parents, our health, our communities, our planet. We worry about whether we are doing enough, being enough, loving enough. And when human beings become worried, we often become judgmental. Sometimes we judge others. Mostly we judge ourselves, and mostly hardest and harshliest of all. And worry and judgment are close cousins. Both rush towards certainty. Both try to protect us from vulnerability. Both whisper, figure it out quickly. Decide who is right. Determine who belongs. Know what comes next. But the spiritual life invites something different. Not certainty or perfection or quick conclusions. Curiosity. This morning, as we placed stones into the water, I found myself thinking about how little we actually know about one another. A stone enters the bowl quietly, but behind it is an entire life, a private grief, a hidden hope, a story still unfolding. And curiosity asks us to pause long enough to wonder, what burdens might this person be carrying? What joy might they be protecting? What fear sits beneath that anger? What longing exists beneath their silence? Curiosity softens judgment because it reminds us that people are more complicated than our assumptions of them. And perhaps even more importantly, curiosity softens worry because it loosens our grip on the illusion that we might have to figure everything out. Children understand this instinctively. Children ask questions constantly. Why? How? What if? Why can't I? Tell me more. Somewhere along the way, many adults lose that openness. We become afraid of uncertainty. We begin to believe that maturity means having answers instead of asking questions. And I am not convinced that spiritual maturity means certainty. I think it may mean learning how to remain open. Open to learning, open to surprise, open to being wrong, and open to wonder. This congregation practices that kind of openness every time we gather. We gather not because we all believe the same things, but because we are willing to search together. This is a radically different way of being religious. And perhaps nowhere is that more visible than in a bridging ceremony. Today we honored Emily Simon as she crosses a threshold into young adulthood. Bridging ceremonies are beautiful because they acknowledge that becoming human is not a finished process. None of us are done becoming. And curiosity is essential to that becoming. Curiosity says, who are you growing into? What gifts are waiting to emerge? What possibilities have not yet been imagined? Judgment freezes people in place. Curiosity allows transformation. And one of our core Unitarian Universalist values is transformation, where we focus on growth, adaptability, holistic change, and grace. Grace because we know that change is never complete and never perfect, which leaves room for compassion and learning and growth and forgiveness. Judgment says, this is who you are, and this is what you're worthy of, and this is what you deserve. Curiosity asks, who might you still become? And that question matters deeply, especially for young people growing up in a world eager to label and categorize them before they fully know themselves. What a gift it is for a congregation to say, you do not have to have your entire life figured out right now. You are allowed to explore. You are allowed to question. You are allowed to change. And honestly, adults need that reminder too, because many of us are still becoming. Amen? Still learning, still healing, still discovering parts of ourselves we had forgotten or taught to put away. That hymn we sang earlier says, we laugh, we cry, we live, we die. What if curiosity helps us do all of that more gently? What if curiosity allows us to meet ourselves and one another with more compassion? Not asking, what is wrong with you, but what happened to you? What matters to you? What do you need? What story am I missing? Curiosity does not eliminate conflict or pain, but it creates a space for understanding. And understanding is often where love begins. So curiosity creates the space for understanding, and understanding is often where love begins. Every stone dropped into the water this morning created ripples, and perhaps curiosity works like that too. A single gentle question can ripple outward, interrupting judgment, softening fear, and opening connection. In a divided and anxious world, that may itself be sacred work. And perhaps one of the most important questions that curiosity asks is this: How do we care for one another when the world feels heavy? Which brings us to another beautiful ritual we call Friends Feeding Friends. Each month on our multi-generational worship service, we collect shelf-stable food for our neighbors with food insecurity. We invite the children forward to collect your offerings for Friends Feeding Friends, and if you brought in egg cartons. So Sarah's going to pass out some baskets. Any young people want to collect? Maybe Alan? Any young people? Ymir, you want to collect some? We got more baskets coming, Mara. Big bag. Oh, we got some more over here. Nova, do you want to pick up another bag? We'll have one of our older young people come up. There we go. Thank you, Barb.
I beg your pardon.
There is something deeply hopeful about watching children carry food through a sanctuary. Not because hunger itself is hopeful. Hunger is painful and real, and many in our community rely on us and other food pantries to be able to feed themselves and their families. But hopeful because compassion is being practiced right in front of us. Today, our children are teaching us something important. When we notice a need, we can respond with care instead of fear. And that, too, is a form of curiosity, because worry often asks, will there be enough? But curiosity asks, what becomes possible if we share? Judgment asks, who deserves help? Curiosity asks, what circumstances might I not understand? Judgment assumes, curiosity listens. Friends Feeding Friends is such a simple ritual, children carrying bags and baskets through the congregation, people offering food for a pantry that is open 24/7, 365 to the community. Our pantry has no requirements. If you are in need, you are worthy, whole, and holy, and deserving of having your basic needs met. But beneath that simplicity is a profound spiritual practice, learning to notice one another's humanity. Our culture often trains us to rush past people, to categorize them quickly, to put them into the boxes with labels that we use to define who deserves what, to decide who is responsible for their struggles, to assume we know their story. But curiosity interrupts that reflex. Curiosity reminds us we rarely know the whole story. The parent quietly skipping meals so their children can eat. The elder choosing between medication and groceries. The family carrying grief, illness, or sudden unemployment. The neighbor smiling politely while struggling privately. Curiosity opens the door to compassion because it asks us to wonder about lives beyond our own immediate experience. And compassion changes communities. Another core value of Unitarian Universalism is interconnectedness. And sometimes that language sounds abstract, but hunger makes it so tangible. If anyone in our community is hurting, then our lives are connected to that pain whether we acknowledge it or not. Friends Feeding Friends says, we choose to acknowledge it, and we choose to do what we can to provide sustenance to those who need it, and to advocate for a world where everyone's needs are met and superficial needs are a thing of the past. And perhaps even more beautifully, our children led us in this practice. And notice this, our children are not being taught fear or scarcity. They are being taught generosity and abundance. That is profoundly countercultural. What our children are doing today is more than a collection, it is formation. They are learning with their bodies and their hearts what it means to participate in community care. They are learning that worship is not only what happens in words or songs, worship also happens in generosity, in paying attention, in noticing need and responding with love. And perhaps just as importantly, they are learning that faith communities are meant to be places where compassion becomes action. Children are naturally curious. They ask questions adults stopped asking. Why are people hungry? Why don't we share more? What can I do to help? Those are spiritual questions. And maybe part of faith formation is not teaching children to stop asking questions, but helping them ask deeper and more compassionate ones. Because curiosity can become a spiritual discipline. Curiosity teaches humility. It reminds us we do not fully understand one another. It keeps us from hardening into that false certainty. It allows room for mercy. And in anxious times, curiosity can even become an antidote to despair. Because despair says, nothing will change. Curiosity asks, what if something could change? What if small acts matter? What if kindness ripples outward? What if communities still have the power to care for one another? What if generosity can shape children into compassionate adults? What if love is stronger than cynicism? Today we have worshipped with water and stones. We have celebrated tradition. We have celebrated transition and becoming. We have watched children practice generosity. And we have sung together, and we have sat in silence together. And through all of it runs the same invitation to stay open. Open to one another, open to wonder, open to compassion, open to the sacred mystery unfolding in every human life. My blessing. May curiosity soften your worry. May it interrupt your judgment. May it deepen your compassion. And may it help us all keep choosing one another again and again and again. Amen, and blessed be.
We invite the greeters forward to receive the collection plates and then face the gathered congregation. Our offering this month will be shared with Coastal Carolina River Watch. They protect the quality of water and quality of life in coastal North Carolina through boots on the ground monitoring, outreach, and advocacy in our communities. Please give generously to support this wonderful organization, which is doing so much to protect our natural resources. Please join in blessing this offering with hymn number 402, From You I Receive. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. We know that there will be times when we worry and we need someone to be there for us. We are here for each other through all the phases of our lives. Let us rise in body or spirit as we sing a song of belonging and togetherness. Number 1021 in the Teal hymnal, Lean on Me. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please join me in reading the chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now in Español, extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
It is this congregation's tradition to join hands and form something along the edges of a circle of this sanctuary. If you prefer not to, stay in the middle and be surrounded by our love. We invite you now to join hands and link up. All right, make a break in the chain. Don't let the chain be too tight. Let everybody in. Nova's running quick. Get you. All right, we've got everybody linked up. Beautiful. Curiosity brought you here and now follows you out. As you step into the rest of your day, notice what makes you lean in. What makes you look twice? May small questions open spacious paths that you come back and share what you have found. Amen.